here right now with Bebecita of Visa Crew Blaze, and we have Jesus to help with some translation. Now, Bebecita, I feel like a lot of cruise matches are nail-biters all the time, so I'm wondering how the team deals with all of these high-intensity matches, and what do you say to them in order to balance out all that energy?
Bebe, estos partidos de crew han sido bastante cerrados, bastante presionados. ¿Cómo hacen ustedes para indicarles a las chicas que se calmen, no sufran esa presión?
Tenemos mucha ayuda de nuestro psicólogo Tomás. Estás de manera remota y o principal é nuestro psicólogo. Ter psicólogo em uma equipe profissional é fundamental.
Yeah, she said that they have a psychologist, a sports psychologist, helping them out remotely. So it's like really important for them to deal with these pressure moments. His help from remotely.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and good luck for the rest of the series.
Welcome back. We just finished map 1. I'm Victoria. We got Wyatt. We got Tom. You ready for a hawk out? Oh gosh.
I was nervous.
Great reflex. Did not.
Reflexes of an ascendant ranked player. Oh,
yeah. Good catch. Anyway, I'm really curious about comps. We did have skies on both sides, but Giant X, did they brew up this Sage comp just to counter Dodd's Neon? I think it might be like the case. I really want to know.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel that way to me. Do you agree with the same
I think
sentiment?
like they had a lot of ideas that, like, especially just walling off certain positions that I think Dodds and others like to play. I actually think the main reason that they lost this was because players like Beer just abused them by peeking through their own util. It's like, oh, you're gonna put like some sort of wall here in the way, or the wave just blocking off a section. I'm willing to take the peak, take the aggro through it, and actually ended up winning them rounds for it. So I think compositionally, GX actually did very well. It just came down to those close clutch moment and obviously the calls from the IGL.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a great decision to bring this out.
Yeah.
Historically, they weren't good on this map when they were just playing your default stuff.
I think this means they've lost 3 times in a row in OT, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I think the last
That's
2 times
tough.
they played, they lost 15-13 to Falcon and 15-13 to BBL. So
Pain.
This is cursed.
Pain? What? I still have hope in them to take their map pick after that performance on a map that KRU have just been utterly dominant on. Still a good showing in my book.
It did go to overtime after all, and it was very back and forth. So before any of that, it's time for our Verizon high-speed moment from Miori, who actually hit 2 nasty clips. We love
This is your
to
hope
highlight.
game, isn't it?
It is my hope. That spray transfer was sick. And then this clutch. Again, the snappy aim brings a tear to my eye. It's beautiful. This is the exact kind of aim I like. I hate smooth aim. Not for low sense smooth aim. No. Snappy fast aim like this, that's what I want to see. And this really is my hopium. Heading into their map pick, Miori and others as well. Smurfette was really stepping up individually. The aim, the fragging looked very clean, very on point. So I really am coming into Split with high hopes that they'll be able to make this the 3-map banger series that we expected it to be coming into today.
But the exciting thing with this as well is that there's only 2 maps currently within, or in the past in the pool that she's played Viper on, which looked good on this map. The other is Split. So maybe, I think they're probably going to have changed their comp quite drastically since the last time we've seen it. I don't think they would have picked it with their old comp where they were getting banged in EMEA. So I assume there's going to be changes coming. But that's the sad thing about this. I think they came into a map that hasn't gone fantastically for them in the past. They changed things massively to counter their opponent. Those counters weren't bad at all. I think it did come down to some good adaptations and being caught off a few times where there's aggressive peaks. The problem now is you have to go into the second map after a long first map where you had the right idea, it just didn't work by a tiny bit, and then hope that now whatever you've come up with the second time is going to work again. And that's also when their opponents also haven't played the map because it hasn't been in the pool.
That's right. Well, Coach Asuka, we saw him on the screen just now. He looks really animated. They looks like whatever it is, they are getting ready for this map too, and they know this is it. This is an elim day, the last elim day, you know, for at least this like little mini series. Do you guys have a? Do you think it's gonna be a map 3?
I do think it's going to be a map 3. I strongly believe in the confidence of Giant X to pick into a map that they historically were not particularly successful at a pivotal moment like this, after having not played it in whatever, how long it's been, 4 months. It's been since sometime in June that was the last time either of these teams were actually able to play the map. A lot has changed since then. Neon being so prevalent in the meta. I'm going to assume KRU are going to probably try to force that, more than likely.
I also want to see if they still run the Astra, because they used to, and if anything, Astra at this point is currently stronger than it was before, so it wouldn't be overly surprising. It also just depends if they're still going for a pacey comp. I think if you're going for such fast-paced stuff as you did in the last map, you probably want to stick with an Omen or something of that sort to have those flashes. I also wouldn't mind seeing the deadlock. Like, we saw that come out for Map V as well, and I really enjoyed it on Split on that defensive side, so I'm interested to see if they have a similar vein, maybe on the Giant X side, to what Falcons are running. Obviously, they're probably like scrimmed against each other in more recent times than not, so maybe they'll have similar ideas.
Do you have as much faith and hope as I do that this is going to a map 3? Are you believing right now?
Based on previous results, no. The thing that worries me is that I think if they'd taken that, it would have given them the momentum. The fact that they lost it in such close fashion, it's much more difficult to come back from that sort of mental side of things. And wow, they've actually got Nest going onto the Viper, so they have wait, Miori on Raze? Okay, I was not expecting that.
I mean, this is some vintage fine wine split from Giant X, taking me back to many years ago with the Astra solo controller with the double duelist.
Okay,
and then
so
the double controller for
Turkish Sentinel playing a Raze. Is this an alpha level threat? That's what I'm worried
with
about.
The aim on last map? No, listen. When someone's hitting those kind of nasty shots and you get them on the duelist now, confidence already flowing mechanically, I think this could be a banger.
I think so too. Elimination is on the line once again, so they're going to give all they've got. So let's find out if we're going to get to map 3 and send it back to Mimi and Ender for the call.
Thanks very much. Yes, if Giant X cannot win this map, 2 of the 3 EMEA teams will be going home on the same day in Berlin.
That is just absolute madness out here in front of the home crowd of all things. And look, this is going to be a wild game because Giant X are coming into a match against a Visa Crew Blaze that's playing a crazy comp. Like, this is so loud on bind build, right? With the Omen, the Astra, and the Viper.
My first thought was FPX, completely different region, whatever you want. This is a weird one. And Giant X, they're going to have to adapt quickly. They will start on the attacking side with some pressure towards A.
No one really found out by that flash. The bird sent up onto ramp, but Smurfette taking tons of damage early on. This was something that was even happening on bind, with Smurfette just losing a ton of HP initially. Luckily, just like on bind, there's a Sky here, so it's not quite as punishing. Sarah went for full utility on the pistol.
Crossfire for KRU in heaven here. Maybe even considering a re-clear down ramp. They'll go for it. Miori holding strong here and just not ready on the angle. KRU get both on the re-clear.
With zero utility either, so this forces Giant X to go up into B heaven. Now Kinnear and Mika are waiting here, and there's a paranoia to play with. Mika's on this nasty little angle there too, and look at the tracking. Oh yeah, that was nice. She'll fall to Smurfette on the tail end. But without B main control, GX are in a miserable spot.
Nade for Duds. There's not going to be any room to breathe here for Giant X. Smurfette, that was really her only chance, and she won't be able to convert it. So KRU, again, coming out the gate strong with the pistol round to win.
And you see again in the post plants a little bit of the chaos with all those smokes being thrown down. It was something really challenging to deal with on that last map. But it was that walk up onto ramp that worked so nicely for KRU. Again, they have very little playmaking tools. It's just the Sky Flash, I guess some Astra utility and whatnot, but nothing is forcing a breach or whatnot you might see in some other comps.
It is a little reminiscent of how Giant X were playing on that first map. Kind of have to rely on some of these contact plays to get proactive on defense.
See though how annoying this comp can be with like forward Omen smoke, forward Astra smoke potentially. And VisaCrew Blaze just use these smokes early on in rounds, and Giant X are playing slow. They're going to feel overwhelmed quickly because it'll be like they have no space on the map. I think they're going to need to start disrespecting the smokes, kind of like they did there, fighting straight through it. Or else they're not going to really have much space to work with.
So does that mean then just kind of sending it on these execs with the double duelist, do you think?
You don't necessarily have to send on execs. I really like fighting quickly for either ramp control or even fighting up into B main, into male, something like this.
Sure, show that early fight, then reset and see what you
Exactly.
can do in the mid-round.
You don't just want to walk, because then you're going to get stuck on smokes.
Well, KRU can walk.
Crew can walk wherever
all
they
the way
want.
around in there.
And they can also flash through their own utility, although that one didn't look quite so good. That didn't either.
Okay.
A little bit
How's the
messy.
judge gonna lose that? This is a little funky now, 3v3.
But really, every player on KRU is isolated 1v3.
Yeah. Mika's been good though. Maybe she could win this 1v3. No!
Oh, no, no,
Ness
no.
has just ruined her.
It's begun, Mimi.
The booming for VisaCrew Blaze might have just started. And Smurfette might just convert it. Giant X only have Dodds to face up against, but they don't have much time. And Dodds, it's hard to be excited for a clutch, but they've done it regardless.
Yeah, we give them the Red Bull clutch, even on the anti-eco, when it comes down to a 1v2 there.
You'll take what you can, though.
That you will. Right, we talked a lot about Dodds, you know, at the start of the last map, because it's been a little bit quiet, even in the first map, right?
Sure.
And Dodds is a player where if she's not dropping 20, 25, like, it's like, oh, you're kind of having an off game. A little bit tough.
That's what happens when you kind of don't lose a match in your region.
The last time they lost was in March, 8 months ago.
Yeah, until they made it here and let that game against G2 slip.
Exactly. Does mean, because of them getting absolutely blasted on that round 2, even winning it, that this is a true bonus coming in for VisaCrew Blaze.
Giant X gonna be pretty happy about this one, as long as they can convert. Remember, second half of Bind, they lost to the bonus round from VisaCrew Blaze. And this is kind of what you were talking about. These slower rounds contacting up, disrespecting the smokes, and GX have made good inroads in mid.
Yeah, because GX have both the Viper Lurk and the Astra, they have options to split either way they want. I really like the idea of fishing up into male and maybe pivoting back later into the round. Dog spots out that nice little pixel angle, forces Dodds down, and I like Miori continuing to sneak on forward here.
Jolina opens up the round, and GX get another into the site. Smurfette towards spawn, deals with Romy as well. So that's a spike planted on B. And thus far, a very clean round for Giant X.
Yeah. Full flawless on that one. We'll carry that Outlaw over into the next. Actually, upgrades into the single Vandal on the opposite side. So a perfect round for Giant X. It is funny, right? We just saw a map where Miori was on the Viper, but she can play the Raze. Send it into that duelist slot. Remember, a lot of those Giant X players were former duelists.
Yeah, it is kind of, it was the question for this team when they were formed, who's going to play what. We talked about them figuring out the leadership in map 1, but it was the same about the roles. Smurfette, I think, the most obvious choice to be that primary duelist, but everyone can be a star and has been on past teams.
I remember casting EMEA last year that it was kind of the classic thing, was a lot of these GC teams just had 3-4 duelists signed onto it, and it was like, hey, we value having these cracked players that we can mold into killing machines.
And KRU, they've got that talent in droves too.
That's what I'm talking about, though, by respecting the smoke. You're just kind of stuck behind it. Now they will send up that wall and get on past, but a good dog timing. We'll see a couple players at the very least.
VisaCrew Blaze, they know something is amiss outside A, but they don't know how many players are here just yet.
Jolina just got that wall. Can slam that down, but there's 2 players on site to hold this out. Paranoia comes through, Kinnear will fall, and it's just Biazik on site with an overwhelming amount of utility sent her way. Keep your eyes on Romy, though, because for a second it was looking like she wanted to creep out. Dodds coming out there, too, and the swarm comes into the site. KRU put together a retake here and found their way into a 2-on-2. Still, those Giant X players isolated right now into main. This will be creeping forward. It's all on her. She finds the first. Stuck in Flower Box. Romy in a 1v2. Players all around. She sees the first and can't quite find those shots. Jolina's going to tie things up.
So a chaotic round, but seeing some of the power there of the GX comp. They don't want to overcommit at the early round, but if they can creep up, get that forward space, and then go for the executes, smokes are fantastic when you're respecting them, but they aren't true stall utility in a way.
Exactly.
A Molly or something else like that is actually going to cut players off. You can just run through it, and with a double dive composition, you have that power.
I think something that was maybe missed in that round was Jolina needs to be putting down stars on those exits where the Astro Wall is going down. So that can turn into a stun or a pull. You can fight them as they come out.
Hold on, KRU. They might have their own turn disrespecting some smokes. They'll flash through. Ness has to keep these players at bay, and that's a lot to ask of her, though. She'll manage thus far.
I think she'll take her odds up against the Stinger at mid-range.
Yeah.
Mika might have some better luck here, especially with Romy coming out of heaven. There's some pretty decent stall, all things considered, coming on through, but nice shots from Mia on the entrance.
Spike down B.
Yori, though, has traded things back into a pretty good situation here for GX. It's 3v2 in the post plant.
Planted.
You need another stunner out of Biazek Gorkanir. Biazek slowly drops into the site, and that Ray's just not looking, turns in time. Miori, looking every which way, cannot find the shots, and now Kinnear, somewhat of a chance! Can't get the last player, though. Nearly a catastrophe for GX, but they'll stabilize and make their way to 3.
I feel like it's the rounds that should be the stomps that are ending up the closest when push comes to shove.
Yeah,
At the very
rifle
end
v
there.
rifle, 5 exec. GX just wins flawlessly.
Yeah, so simple.
Ego.
One enemy remained. Last player.
Things start to get a little bit spooky when there's sheriffs on the board. I think Miori was caught off by surprise with every single person that fought her that round once she was posted up to her left, up above. A close call, but a win's a win, right, Coach?
That it is.
I take
KRU
those
Blaze,
personally.
though. Do you?
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, you just want the number at the top of your scoreboard to be bigger. It doesn't matter how you get there. You save that for pod review, Mimi.
Okay. So Visa KRU Blaze now in this timeout looking to increase their number as well.
Yes, putting that number up to 3 is the next step on the menu.
How do you think they might do that?
Honestly, I think this one through for just a second. Like, all things considered, they're worried about probably like a fast exec or like mid-control from the Raze rocket.
Sure.
I think whenever Raze is in the game on split, like with rocket up, you want to take control over one of the heavens, because if you come out of heaven with that Raze rocket, it's impossible for a side player to do anything. The angles are just too bad for you. There's nowhere really to hide. So that's the first thing on my mind.
And we've seen GX throw around like that before, right? They took the A heaven control slowly and then just fast exec into A and absolutely decimated the anchors, even without that Raze rocket.
KRU have some options to fight with here. They've got the Cosmic Divide, forces GX to play on-site in a post plant, otherwise you can just full stick on through behind that one. But really, I think KRU are just going to keep playing this style where they unload 3 stars at the start of round to quickly turn into a stun, or in mid that's probably going to end up being a smoke. But Giant X are going to want to play these rounds out, usually to eat up a lot of those stars, or a Viper Molly, Omen Paranoia, eat up any of that stall before they want to full commit into an exec. Oh,
there goes the Raze rocket. At the very start of the round, Miori going through B heaven. No one's home. Instead, KRU have made their way out main.
Yeah, Miori fires that off into backside. Doesn't get a kill, but
That's
B main
damage.
is so massive. Dodds has snuck all the way into the corner. And look at the placement. Just the patience out of the star. It's a 1 for 2, and there's still someone backside.
I know, this round gets even more confusing because Miori is up heaven. Mika has spotted Sarah. Oh my, now has an opportunity to take down the Astra on the other side, and Omen teleporting in, now cancelled out. And Mika just has too many players watching her position. Romy arrives, the gun's not out! What is going on?
It's absolute madness. No one
The
knows where
Molly.
anyone is,
Romy
and that's
has
gonna
no
kill.
way.
Down to 17 HP goes Romy. By the way, Giant X are still hunting. Ness is moving forward. Ness is looking for the kill on the hunt.
Is Romy ready for this? Spots out Ness, damage going both ways. Ness has to retreat. Now a 2v2, Seekers both head towards spawn. And GX group up together, they'll wrap back around, spot them out, and Ness claims a double. In the pandemonium, this time it's GX coming out the better.
unbelievable they can win that after losing 2 players in B main. Right, like Dodd's got that walk up, which was so massive. Then couldn't quite win the 3rd fight. The honest gunfight is the one she lost.
One enemy remaining.
That ends up hurting.
Visa Crew Blaze working this round on credit. Only have a couple weapons to speak of.
Rounds like these, they're usually getting active. This time a bit of a trap play set up in mid behind that Viper orb. They can step into that, bring it down, have 3 people looking to fight you instantly. That's what it is, but quickly going to be scouted out by that Boombot.
Player noted in main from GX's flash.
Big push-ups from the defensive side. Giant X feel like they want to group together before they take anything, because otherwise you're stepping into this eco in ones. It's not going to look good for you. You're just losing players all around the map because Giant X aren't doing anything.
Well, it's a double duelist comp. They both took a duel. Now they're both dead, and the dog sails straight over the head of Ness. But what has Giant X gotten out of all of this? Nothing really. They have 2 players in B main.
I think a flash through onto ramp. Hold on, look at Mika.
Has a Bucky. Tucked close, Sarah walks straight in, and it's the perfect situation for the Bucky. Jolene is going Astro, but pulls out just with enough time to get the kill.
Down to 11 HP though.
It feels
Seeker
hopeless.
coming towards her.
1v4.
30 seconds to plant the spike.
Needs to reload, needs to plant. So many tasks in front of her.
On the ante.
And Dodds is just gonna throw a nade at her feet. That's a Mastercard thrifty for Visa Crew Blaze.
I mean, shout out to Crew winning every single fight they took in that round, just about. But Giant X, I mean, they decided to play this game just 1v1 for a lot of it. They were waiting for some big aggression. I think that's why they were spread out around the map and then lost the fights that they should have won.
And I think GX made some of these mistakes on the last map as well, playing these slow rounds where they're just kind of walking around looking for an opportunity and honestly challenging some aim fights.
It'll be a tempo switch in this one, though. All 5 players into A with that double dive and the wall coming down. You can overwhelm this site so quickly. Look at Kinnear taking a chance through the smoke. Absolute perfection.
That's a kill. No one on site now, but Visa Crew Blaze will not let them in. A molly, a wall, and suddenly this cosmic divide is not going to provide anything for Giant X.
The first 2 players down are again
Kinnear.
the 2 duelists.
Oh, she almost had it timing up towards heaven. Backs away as Giant X walk up behind their wall. Sarah flashes through. Kinnear could become a problem again. They're walking straight past her. Kinnear has one. Jolene is spotted as well. Kinnear is on for the ace, and she's done it! An incredible ace for Kinnear.
Taking her timing, just seizing every single window. I want to see that again, because the first fight she took, that was gutsy. Just coming through here, and they're all looking the wrong way.
She's one of only 6 players that have been to every Game Changers Championship, and she is proving why. One of the most dominant forces from Latin America.
And it's so important, too, when you're playing a comp like this with very few playmaking opportunities. It's, you know, Sky Flasher for the most part. You need a player that's just going to seize those timings. Take those calls where, you know, maybe you die there and it looks foolish. But when it works in a big, big way. Kinnear's already up to 11 kills. Ultimate's online as well for Visa Crew Blaze.
Timeout for Giant X. They had a good thing going. 4 rounds in a row.
We had a good thing going.
They did. But that momentum has been stolen away again. And I'm back to looking at Sarah. The player who was a star with G2 now has to be a leader with Giant X.
And what's it going to be? Honestly, I think they need to be jumping for mid-control way faster. They've tried this. They haven't even really tried the ramps dive either. It's been that slower play swinging through the smoke. I think they need to be jumping on, you know, Viper's going to be throwing this orb out of vents every round. Get up there quickly with the raise.
I mean, they're playing double duelists. In these last 2 rounds, they've just contacted in, and both duelists have lost their fights.
Yeah. I like the direction they're setting up in this pre-round. We'll see if that sticks. Miori actually looks a bit undecided right now. Look at that, Miori's going back and forth in sewers. Wasn't maybe sure if the fight was going to be in mid or just holding for A. This is what I'm talking about, though. Threaten getting over into vents.
But they're not actually taking any space off of it.
I'd expect that round was a bit of conditioning, throwing the Sky Flash in there, but not actually going through it. And next round is the one that Raze is diving in. They don't want to waste that on an eco round.
It is an eco round, but they still have 2 rifles.
And the knives. It's not too shabby.
There's a world in which they could steal one away from Dodds here.
I mean, GX know that KRU like to walk. They're waiting for KRU to go too far. Just take that extra step, but really good control out of VisaCrew Blaze to decide not to.
Trailblazer towards B Heaven. That's just providing some pressure. Does it pull a rotation?
Sarah has no more fighting utility, though.
3 players still on A.
Here.
Smurfette, dash popped. Blade Storm ready to go. Can she make a round of this? Dodds, oh my. What a shot to open this one. There's no recourse for GX.
I mean, there's no time either. We're down to 20 seconds. Biazik is still ratting it out here on Flower.
And now they're getting naded. A smoke goes in, and it's easy pickings for Dodds to get a second. Biazik has this one locked up. 10 seconds left. They're blinded again. All of this utility was left in the belt, and VisaCrew Blaze use it to perfection.
All right, Giant X, wipe that one off, slate clean. It was a slow round, but that was a bit of a half buy. This is the round I want them in vents. You can't let Romy get away with throwing this orb. I think it's one of the big benefits of running the double duelist is you have those opportunities to keep fighting forward. It's just going to be necessary for them to try and seize some control. Again, though, they're spreading out. It's actually from KRU! KRU's flying in! GX don't do anything. KRU decide to take the initiative.
And Sarah is immediately gone from this round. GX is going to try and react. They'll go fast into the A site, and they will get that space. But there's a retake that can come rather swiftly here from KRU. They already have players wrapping back towards main, and look who's late to the party. Miori is still rotating in.
The fight is all on Miori. Can she find these 2 players? Giant X have already won out inside of the pit.
She's worried about getting flanked herself.
Yeah, but the patience is going to pay off for her. Dodds is still waiting for it and shuts her down.
Dodds was just too aware. Dog for Biazik. She knows at least 1 player is backside. And now the raid boss is on her way. Dodds following up, but behind her teammates flash. That's 3 for Dodds. And that's Ness left alone to try and save this round, but they're sticking. Biazik does not let go of the defuse. KRU up 2-6.
4 strung in a row for VisaCrew. Giant X haven't found any answers. Even in this round, like, they're just getting dove on.
And we've been asking for more proactivity from Giants. I thought it would come out of that timeout, but instead, it is VisaCrew Blaze setting the pace on split.
That they are. Dodds 2-1 KD right now, looking real good on this second map. And VisaCrew Blaze getting active again, stepping up behind that smoke. Doubled up in B Heaven too. Smurfette needs to find an opener.
They're gonna swing through Smurfette, that's 1. Dodds on the off angle, no one's watching Dodds. But that doesn't matter. Somehow Dodds gets nothing for it, and now VisaCrew Blaze, they have gotten something back on the other side, but they should lose B.
Did the dog see?
Did it see Mika? No one's looking. Smurfette in midair.
The Goomba Stomp.
Okay.
Squashes Mika. Okay, I guess the round is just over.
Yeah.
Giant X needed a round like that. I mean, everyone just won their fights. Mid completely dominated, and they get that ramp kill at the same time. Couldn't ask for anything better. To get the mojo back for these duelist players, they've just been getting shut down round on round.
Hold on, though. Biazik is wealthy. Winning this round probably not happening, but damage would still be big. GX don't have a lot of money left in the tank. Julia will go down. That's one gun at least taken care of. And everyone else will just take it through spawn and keep the weapons.
Eerily similar scenes, right? KRU up 6-4, and then GIANTX win the next. Map 1 was all tied up at the half. GIANTX would love to get 6 here on attack.
Miori has the Raise Rocket this round.
These are just really nice shots up into mid. I felt like there's been the few times GX have gone there, Visa Crew, they've just kind of backed out of this space, not fought them too hard. But this time we're going quick over into the A site. I think it's going to be a ramps look. Did I say quick? I didn't mean quick.
It is GIANTX at the end of the day.
I meant they were going to walk.
OMEN is, okay, threatening a TP into spawn. When does Miori choose to use that rocket? I think that's the linchpin for GX to tie up this game. Biazic takes down Miori. No rocket to work with. Kinnear in this off angle again. She has been potent thus far, but Sarah's just on top of her.
Romy gets 2. Absolutely massive, a third, moving up inside of the smoke. Look at her dancing, look at her diving. Look away because Dodds is getting the kills.
Visa Crew Blaze, they have dominated this half, 7-5. The pace was in their control, and they're only just gonna start attacking.
One enemy remaining.
And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. I just feel so good, good. I just feel so good.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I don't care if you think I'm a clown. I don't care 'cause you can't pin me down. You can't pin me down. I'm everything you can't define. I'm always gonna cross the line, and I can't help it. You can't pin me down, pin me down. Can't pin me down, pin me down, pin me down. You can't pin me down, pin me down, pin me down. Can't pin me down, pin me down, pin me down. You can't pin me down, pin me down. Can't pin me down, pin me down, pin me down. You can't pin me down, pin me down, pin me down. You can't pin me down, pin me down, pin me down. You can't pin me. You can't pin me down. Can't pin me down. Can't pin me down.
One EMEA team has already gone home today, and if GX can't lock in for this second half, they're bound to join Falcons. And Chrissy, I want you to give me the sell. It's 7-5. How do Giants come back?
Look, I want to start off with Smurfette, right? I think one of the big benefits running this double duelist comp is that you have a Jet on defense. That means early op coming online is absolutely massive. I think winning an early pistol round, going for a round 2, save on one of your players so you can make sure you get an op online at least round 3, round 4. That's how you start to stack things up early on. Because you forget that GIANTX were in a brilliant spot. They were on a big spree after that 3rd round. They just need to get back into that groove here in the second half.
Astra Utility, a dog being used towards A. A fake attempt here from Visa Crew Blaze, but they're actually heading towards B, and look who's here to receive. Jolina, already pushed back and running towards Heaven. She'll have some support into the site, and that's Miori stalling this one out for a moment.
Yeah, plenty of stalling now. Oh, surprise, there's 4 players on the B site. Visa Crew, don't go that way. Need to deal with these mid players first.
Those are some key tools gone. 2 Astra Stars, the nade for Miori.
Importantly, Kunir still has a paranoia to work with.
Smurfette wanted a fight there. Chooses to back away now, and Getting a tag from that Sheriff will be forced to fully retreat out
Oh,
of
I
this
really
one.
like this, though. It's a fake up into B heaven. The spike is moving over onto the A side of the map. That's the entire idea of this play. Force 3 players to rotate over onto that B side while the rest of the team works A.
This is the beauty of Astra, though. You
30
can have
seconds
impact
left.
across the map, help these players in main. I think the biggest issue, though, for Giant X is the force from heaven, because Dodds is already diving into this site. Sarah gets one, but the trade is instantaneous, and now Ness is about to be ran over. Visa Crew Blaze have a post plan on B.
Spike's gonna go down. I think Giant
10
X are gonna
seconds
want to
left.
get out of this smoke quickly. They
Planted.
can't take their time. They need to go through here now.
Last player standing.
Jolina had a chance, but it's immediately ripped away. Visa Crew Blaze go 2 for 2 on pistols in this second map.
Look, Mimi, I got some beef.
Okay.
I think we've had far too many people playing Flower Box this game.
There's been a lot.
This is the most exceptionally, from both sides, exceptionally cringe defensive A-side holding. It is crazy how many times they're down there. Good news is for Visa Crew, they were ready for it this time
Wait
around.
for that kill. Romy was in the pool moving. Gets the headshot with the ghost. Okay.
They can't keep getting away with it. And they won't, because that was the Crew playbook for the entire first half.
Nade towards B main from Miori. But she has no helpers. And unfortunately,
Any
has
helpers?
just been
Any helpers, chat?
eviscerated by Dots. There aren't any.
Yeah, no, brutal opener there. I like the way that Visa Crew haven't overheated into these sites early on. The default seems to be B main control and then reclaim some space into mid.
That to me shows the growth from the crew who's been at previous GCCs, right? Like, you remember them, very classic, LatAm, all about the star power, all about the fast stuff. Like, now with new IGL Biazic, this team has a lot more structure and a lot more depth.
Gearing up for this B hit now. Jolina's not going to get away with playing close, and she doesn't. Gone just about instantly, and nobody's home.
So this is looking to be quite a clean conversion for Visa Crew Blaze.
Yeah, you know, there is a flank clump coming in here in just a moment into B main, because Crew didn't actually step over into mid.
It's being watched, though. The Astra tucked close, and Smurfette doesn't catch the good end of that timing.
My concern for Giant X here is, well, they're not going to be able to do too much damage. You don't imagine on this side? No, not going to be able to do any damage at all. But also by losing the pistol, by even sort of half investing in this round with a Bucky, a Marshall, maybe a Sheriff in there as well, like, you might have some players on light armors next round, and it means you're not going to have an op for the foreseeable future either. That's the biggest loss.
All 5 players for Giant X on half armor. Granted, there's not an outlaw for Crew. Still, though, that could pose some problems.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit less punishing on defense where you don't have to, you know, walk into the line of fire, but
Yeah, you're not going through a Viper wall as often.
it's still not a great spot to be in. It does feel like they maybe spent a little bit too much in the last, but that's 2020. We're actually in 2024.
Thank you. Thought that was an economy joke, not an eyesight
you know,
one.
13 years since Skyrim came out today. Where's my game?
Thank you for sharing. That's really beautiful. So rifles
Sorry,
for Giant X.
the truth is the teams have been playing so slow that I've just been starting to wait for some kind of action, and it's got me thinking about waiting for other things.
Okay.
Here we go.
There's some action.
Oh, dear.
Maori delivers it. Dodds removed from the sky, but that was all just a fake. The real main of this round is over towards B, and GX have locked it up.
Yeah, that round is over. A flawless round here? Can we get that, Giants? Beautiful. Exactly what they need. I mean, they only lost armor on 2 players.
Best they could hope for. It does feel really a mirror of Bind, right? Crew has this big streak, builds up with 4 rounds in a row, looks on the verge of closing out, and the GX have a round, a moment to bring the momentum back. Pressures this time, can they carry that through?
Such a hard game for them to play as well because they lost
Careful.
both pistols.
Careful.
Really gonna have to prove themselves here on an equal footing. Still some heavy defaulting from Visa Crew over towards this B main. Haven't actually gotten into that space, and I like this idea of going quickly into mid off of it.
2 rounds now. Miori has used that nade into B main. Crew's ready for it now. And they're just defaulting. Might even clear back into that space later on.
Yeah, the annoying thing about having a Viper and someone like an Aster is you can just keep recycling the smoke into mid. Very hard for an attacking team to make it through that without investing a ton.
Me. Here's the dog coming. And maybe now suspects that jet. Close in.
No nade to stall this one out here, though, so relying almost entirely on Jolina helping out on top rafter. Really working down the clock here, and it's not rotating into a lurk. It's rotating into a Viper that's just holding the extremities. There's still a double hold here in front of A that's going to rip them apart.
Down to Smurfette for Giant X.
Do they dog? Oh, the dog is critical.
Oh, Smurfette, that was a bit greedy. Sticks around, dives for it. And now there's only one defender on this site, caught by the blind, tucking in towards elbow. There are players towards heaven. How much can they help Sarah out? The leader needs to go massive here. She's down, but her teammates are doing the job well. Not in time. Gunir arrives and Crew make their way to 10.
Yeah, the late pinch through mid from Mika was also really nice. Activating that at just the right moment, because he was almost slipping away there. It was looking real dire on that site. A little bit chaotic. But dealing with Smurfette cleanly here was really important. Like, where was the team behind Smurfette? There were 2 players sort of nearby. I'm mainly thinking about Sarah, who was, you know, perched up on site, decided to fall back.
I really think that repeat was a little misguided for Smurfette.
Yeah, the problem is the dog saw her. She's pinned over into the corner.
And she had dash proc. She could have just gotten out.
I suppose. Maybe was hoping Sarah was going to fight for her, but just didn't actually come in at the end of the day.
Another timeout for Giant X.
That'll be the last one, I believe.
And this round feels like the last chance for them.
Yeah, Crew go to 11. Giant X would have a scuffed bye.
And the ults start to snowball for Visa Crew Blaze.
Oh, that's even worse. You're so right. Giants are really far away from getting theirs, too. Not even guaranteed they have them next round. And they're the ones on the back foot. This was their map pick. This was supposed to be that funky map getting thrown in. We didn't know what Crew was going to be playing.
And for Dodds, we've talked about how good she is on Neon, how maybe the other agents aren't up to snuff. She was an incredible map 1, but now, here on Split, on the Rays, is really the true impact player for Visa Crew Blaze.
Yeah, if Crew are going to go on a run, it's going to be with Dodds performing out of her mind.
I've heard a thing or two about Crew going on a run.
You think they're going to go on a run?
This is a good start. Just have to close it out now. It was 6 rounds in a row they lost to G2 to go down to this lower bracket. And 6 for GX would give them at least 12.
Yeah, flash, TP, double satchel, up into ramp. Watch mid, though, because there's a big walk-up right now going on from this jet. Mika over in Ramen, waiting for this one. Oh no, Mika spotted, and that's a massive opener.
Dodds dives into the site.
Spike down.
Sarah
A.
again. The anchor on A needs to do a little more than this time.
One enemy
Oh no.
remaining.
And she's just not looked after. That's good from Sarah on the off angle. Turns around for Dodds. Excellent work out of Giant X's initiator.
Wow, it seemed like every angle Giant X walked into there favored them completely in the fights they were taking.
This game has been so weird because it feels like half the time Giant X is just getting rolled. They can't win a fight. And then there's just the rounds like that one where every angle is perfect.
Yeah.
Where they preempt every position from Visa Crew Blaze.
Like they just get a little bit of shoulder before the other person knows what's going on. But it comes from taking those proactive chances, right? Stepping into mid, for example.
We talked about that being the last chance round for GX. But for Crew, that was also the reset on their economy.
Down to Sheriffs, but quick control into B main. I like that. Finally
Smurfette is
revealing.
getting up a little bit.
Yeah, that boost spot.
Screen down.
It's a good sign if you're a Giant X fan.
We're gonna have some options to consolidate here, though, because right now they're 2-2-1 spread out around the map. No one's really stepped forward here, and I think recognizing that push out into A main These are crew players that are going to decide mid is the point to attack. With these pullback smokes as well, they can choose to continue forward or even pop through into mail. They've just about slipped past.
GX checks on mid. They don't see anything, but they haven't been thorough. So there's at least suspicion that something could be amiss in Heaven. But the issue with losing this Heaven control is that those players rotating
They hear
in.
the steps. But it's a crossfire. It's just absolutely perfect, right? The timing, Giant X get over on the rotation. The plane doesn't even matter. Oh my word.
30 seconds left.
All right, Giants.
Looked like it was getting scary on the anti-eco. Now it's just Romy.
And now it's just sad.
Yeah.
Poor little guys.
The gap is down to 2.
And Giant X have been on that edge a lot throughout this game, throughout this series. Just barely trailing. But next round, the biggest one to test them yet, I do feel. Here they sort of got into some nice positions in the mid-round. Again, they found themselves just through good map movements, decisions made in very nice positions. They need to keep that one going, but up against an Astral Divide, a Raze Rocket, all these tools to quickly exec onto B.
That's exactly where Visa Crew Blaze is going, but they're going to get blocked off here. Viper's pit covers all of B main.
I was wondering if maybe they'd use the rocket just to force Ness out of the pit.
It's a risk, though. If Dodds doesn't hit the shot,
Sure.
then you can't really trade.
Or even just like pop that, make some noise going in, and force her out of it long enough that it comes down.
Sure.
Could be a minor win.
Scout destroyed.
Instead, they go into mid.
Yeah, Visa Crew have had a little bit of success here.
If they get out Heaven, that Raze Rocket is
Look at Smurfette!
Oh my, just walks into the smoke. And she's dead. There was no other players there. Walking up the rope is Miori. Ooh, delivered on a pedestal. Dodds diving in, and just the edge of the rocket splashes and gets the kill.
I mean, look, Jalena's stepping forward. She might be able to save this round. For Giant X continuing out. She's made it onto Rafter. What a spot to be in.
Romy goes up towards Heaven.
I like this from Crew, grouping up together as 4.
Paranoia towards spawn. Jelena, she's worried about so many angles. No friends in this endeavor, but he's taking the right timing. That's a freebie. Flicks the wrong way, and that's the death of her.
Yeah, everything left on Ness now. Gosh, it felt like there was maybe a chance. And after 2 rounds of Giant X finding themselves in the perfect position, everyone was caught off that round.
And that's where we've seen the difference. A lot of this game, that mid-rounding. Crew's looked so confident in losing out on their initial idea, then adjusting, finding the next step. And they'll now find themselves at 11 rounds. Two away from sending the second EMEA home today.
The second team be bad. I mean, look at this. Smurfette had gotten lucky the last few rounds and found herself in a good spot by making those aggro steps into mid and finding just a lurker, just one player. This time, unfortunately for her, there's just too many.
Finally, Smurfette will get an ult.
That'll be so massive. Where is she? Oh, the same boost as before? Okay, I don't hate it, especially with a bit of baiting from Jelena.
Enemy kill.
There goes Dodds. Out of this round.
Wow, taking no chances with dash out. And repositioning up towards Heaven. That wall, though, is going to invalidate this off completely. Giant X are trying to get back out into sight. The dog will see them, and the stun could be punishing. Giant X are out in front of it, but the judge, what is happening? Crew are just tearing this site apart.
Smurfette would have to be the salvation for Giant X. Has already gotten one. Mika taken down towards spawn as well, and Smurfette finds herself on somewhat of an island. Crew's gonna try and deal with her. How much can she do in this position? Nothing. The rocket arriving though. Miori. Perfect placement.
Smurfette was just the worm on the end of the hook right there. Pulls those 2 players into her, and the rocket tears them up. Giant X, every round is just getting a little bit muddy, a little bit messy. Chaos in these situations, but it starts off with a great shot from Smurfette. Bit of redemption from the previous round, making that operator pay off. And it's carried over here into the next one. I mean, the Seeker's combo with the rocket too just makes the game so easy.
Try again.
I've got your trail.
Visa Crew Blaze are heading straight back to B. Seekers, a judge, diving in. Dodds, has a victim inside the smoke. And flicks up to get the kill.
She wants more.
A nade on Jolena, another headshot on the judge, and now real guns will be picked up.
It was a half buy for Crew. Now they're the ones with the numbers advantage. Are you joking?
And Smurfette has to retake with an operator. Miori isn't even...
Oh my god, Miori has to run through mid, and look where Romy is in mid, waiting for that. I think she hears the rotation. She can cut this off, taking her time.
Miori checking on it.
Wow, trying to bait out that early swing, but she's got to go eventually. The clock is not the friend.
JX start. They're in roads towards B.
There goes Romy, starting to creep up. Nice shot.
That's big. Operator connects, but not another. Dodds keeps it going. She's gotten 3. That's a 4th. Dodds on for the ace. The final victim around the corner. Dodds has the damage. And Dodds has the ace. Visa Crew Blaze, 1 round away from eliminating Giant X.
Dodds is just massive. That's crazy. The 5K there on a half buy? Crew didn't even want to win that round. They were just trying to do some damage.
She was absent in the last 2 maps against G2. It wasn't her best in map number 1.
Enemy remains.
But in the moments that demanded, OT map 1, round 12 on split, Dodds has stepped up.
Winning the escalation round there. Going from a judge to a vandal, now the showstopper up into male, and that's going to be off the rip. Tons of utilities spent, but it looks like Ness has just about made it alive.
There are players on that side who could receive it. Miori is sniped off by the rocket. Dodds is going to push towards Spun. That's a Bucky to receive her.
And Visa Crew, they haven't made it onto the site just yet. Bialzik taking matters into her own hands, down onto the site. And Giant X have started to crumple, started to fall. Crew have the site, and it's all on Smurfette. The last chance for EMEA today. 10 HP, and there's absolutely nothing. Visa Crew Blaze advance and eliminate Giants.
What a start for Visa Crew Blaze in this lower bracket. It was heartbreak against EMEA just the other day, but today, they're the second team to send that region packing.
Dodds coming up in a massive way, 27 kills in that game. Interesting comps throughout the day, tons you had to think about. This was not an easy day by any means. So much to see through, so much pressure, the nerves on that stage, but at the end of the day, it was Crew on top.
2 years ago, in this same arena, it was about EMEA versus NA. Those 2 regions stepping up. We saw the breakout of Brazil and Sao Paulo. But now here, back in Berlin, it's a Japanese team and a Latin American team advancing through the lower bracket.
Giant X will bow out here as the second seed from EMEA, eventually falling, but at the end of the day, the competition is just getting stiffer and stiffer in this arena. Visa Crew Blaze, what a day from them. A 2-0, bouncing back after dropping to EMEA's first, EMEA's best.
It's gotta feel good for Kinnear and Romy, who have been with this Crew roster since that appearance on the same stage 2 years ago.
They've already had the reps here. Now it's about punching your ticket deeper and deeper into this tournament. They kiss their way goodbye and are already going to be thinking about their next games. I believe they've got 2 days off to get ready to watch the other competition, because it's only going to get tougher from here.
They've made it now into that top 6, but there's room still to grow. They win another match in this lower bracket. Top 4 would be their best placement yet at a GCC.
And what a time to do it. We're going to check out some of the highlights from the second map. And it was such a strange map starting things off. I really thought Giant X had a chance for a moment, especially early on in that one. They lost the first 2 rounds, but then got 4 back-to-back-to-back-to-back. It was moments like these. Kinnear secured the ace, just fighting forward consistently.
I mean 2 aces on 1 map for Crew Visa Blaze.
Just obscene. I mean, combined, you add up Dodds and Kinnear, they're on 48 kills.
incredible stuff. Mika as well, I mean, so good on that first map, having moments here too.
It was a game where, I mean, look, KRU came in, they said we're gonna play 1 million smokes. And they were constantly pushing through them, constantly catching you off guard. Dodd's one of those players with that judge in a round like this.
And they're playing Yoru Neon on map number 1. They are blazing their own path, creating their own style, and it's looked good thus far.
Yeah, they have definitely been cooking some things up, but when Dodds is here playing well, KRU are looking damn good.
Yeah, Visa KRU Blaze really looking like an opponent to be reckoned with in this lower bracket. So let's check in with Romy in our Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much. I'm joined by Romy from Visa KRU Blaze after their win against Giant X. And Romy, the first question that I want to ask her is, on the first year, they didn't get a single win. Second year, they get 1 win. This is a third year where Romy makes it, and now she gets not only 2 wins, but we're expecting so much more. What does it mean for her as a veteran on the team to see the evolution of the team and play with this new roster? Romy, felicitaciones por esta victoria. El primer año no consiguieron ninguna victoria. El segundo año consiguieron una. Ahora consiguen mínimo 2 y estamos esperando muchísimas más. Así que, ¿qué se siente para ti como veterana seguir avanzando y ahora seguir avanzando con este roster?
Muy feliz, obviamente, porque eso se ve como de que estamos progresando cada año. Obviamente, siempre ha sido más difícil para Latinoamérica, así que nosotros estamos intentando sacar la cara por Latinoamérica, así que estamos muy contentas y todo el esfuerzo está valiendo la pena.
She's saying they're very, very happy because it's showing the improvement that the team has had throughout the years. And obviously, it's always harder for Latin America. So they're making sure that they're the face of Latin America and they're pushing Latin America forward. Now, for my second question that I have for her is something that she said in another interview is that they're taking it step by step. But how does that step-by-step preparation change when they're facing a Giant X that changes their composition on that map 1 and they have to adapt on the fly to make sure it goes their way? Romy, la segunda pregunta que tengo es, cuando me dices que estaban tomando todo paso a paso, la adaptación de los equipos, ¿cómo cambia esa adaptación cuando ven una composición como la del primer mapa del lado de Giant X para poder cerrarlo al finalmente y que se vaya de su forma?
Siendo franca, al principio como que nos costó adaptarnos porque era como que estábamos adaptando nuestro juego a su composición. Y después nos dimos cuenta que podíamos hacer básicamente el mismo juego de nosotras, que no había que adaptarse a nada, que había que jugar con confianza y nada más. Fue más fácil de lo que pensamos.
She's saying that at the beginning it was a little bit difficult to adapt because they were trying to adapt to what Giant X were doing. But once they started playing their own game, they realized they just had to do that the whole time, and it was a lot easier than they expected. Now, my last question here is that next match is going to be against the loser of Shopify Rebellion or against Zipto. So 2 teams that she's faced in the past before, a few of the players that she faced in the past before. So how does she feel? How is she going to make sure that this time around she's going to be the one getting the win? La siguiente partida va a ser en contra del perdedor de Shopify Rebellion o de Zipto. 2 equipos en los que algunos de los jugadores ya te habías enfrentado con ellas, una en el 2022, otra en el 2023. ¿Cómo vas a hacer para que esta vez esa partida se vaya de tu lado?
Bueno, nosotros da lo mismo el rival, la verdad, porque hay que enfrentarse a cualquiera que venga aquí. Todos los equipos son fuertes, así que nosotros vamos a intentar demostrar nuestro juego, todo lo que entrenamos durante el año, así que no importa quién venga, que vamos a intentar hacer nuestro juego.
Yeah, she's telling us that it doesn't matter who they have to face. They're going to continue playing their own game. They're going to keep doing their own thing. And as it's been in the past years, now it's what they've been working on. And that is the thing that they want to show at the end, no matter if it's going to be Shopify, Zipto, or whoever else. Esto es todo lo que tengo en la entrevista. This is everything that I have for the interview. And we'll see you guys. Vamos, crew.
And Visa KRU Blaze continue on their GCC journey through the lower bracket here. Well earned, well fought in this best of 3 today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hate to see Giant X go. They performed very well today against such a formidable team, a team that we simply did not expect to go this far heading into the tournament. I think to some extent, KRU maybe expecting it themselves with that confidence they came in to the tournament with, saying, hey, this is the best team that we've ever had. And they were right. I mean, this is the best team that this KRU Visa Blaze roster has ever shown at a GCC.
Well, I think they've now matched their placing of last time, but there's obviously more teams in the tournament,
right.
So definitely an improvement. I think their showing versus G2 was impressive, and their resilience today. Like, a team comes in, directly countering your comp and you still win, it shows they've got those adaptations. It shows they've got the individual skill, and they definitely have dodds.
It is very promising for the very near future. But sadly, today we also have to say goodbye to 2 teams. Besides Giant X, there's also Falcons Vega, also very hard fought. If they continued on this tournament instead, like, I don't think that would have been the surprising outcome either. It really could have gone either way, but there are winners and losers in Valorant.
It feels so insane that these 2 teams are going home already, but it is such a testament to how strong the entire global scene now is at GCC compared to last year and compared to the year before. The elevation around the world in terms of the play is just so sick.
Hey, they're coming up against some of the greatest storylines in history. A KRU run and a Zeta run.
Yeah,
like
at the same time.
You don't even want to be the people that breaks those runs. They're so enjoyable to watch. And yeah, I never thought we'd get both at a tournament, but I'm excited for it. It's definitely a shame because a huge amount of very talented players that worked all year to get to this point, but either way, we were losing some great teams today.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but I'm really glad for the time that we did have with them here, seeing like returning players from previous GCCs, including Mary, coming back from that break. So I enjoyed it while it happened.
The Mary Mad V duo was a treat to watch.
Yeah.
Super fun, really entertaining gameplay, insane individual skill. They had a great run, all things considered. It was just a treat to watch them at this tournament, regardless of their finish.
Now, we started with 10 teams. We started the day with 8, and now we are down to 6 teams left in the bracket. And Zeta crew continue on 2 more days from now, but looking at the top 4 in the upper bracket there, let's have a quick look at that. Again, these 4 look so strong right now. Incredibly powerful teams. Whoever, I don't even know how this is going to end up. Do you guys have any feels on?
I think game 1, like top half of the bracket, I've got no idea. Like G2 versus MIBR, straight 50-50.
Yep, I will flip a coin when the production sends me the link to fill out my breads that day. I have no idea who to go with.
Like, especially because G2 looked like I expected a more dominant showing against KRU. I think it's a testament to Visa Crew Blaze as well. But in reality, I think they played fantastically. In the second game, I definitely favor Shopify, but I think Zipto have proven like that they can also stand up to pretty much anyone.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have no idea how it's going to go.
That makes it fun.
But we have an idea of how we might want it to go. And Tom, you kind of hinted at that earlier today when we talked to the Magic Wheel.
I didn't hint anything.
And
Todd
the wheel. It wasn't even a hint. It was very strong worded from Todd as to what would happen in the games today, actually.
You know what? Yeah, so those of you who missed it, that happened way earlier today. Both EMEA teams lost, but let's see how that did line up with Todd, the Magical Wheel, earlier.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Both EMEA teams are going to win. So I'm asking, will they win?
Will they win? The EMEA Vereine heute überleben.
If it lands on it again, I'm out. No cap, it's a yes.
It's a yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
This is
easy for EMEA. It doesn't stretch for. Oh, there it does.
Take a breath.
Take a deep breath
of that copium.
Screw you, Todd.
All right. Well, we're going to give you a second chance.
Todd. We're giving Todd a second
chance.
chance.
A second chance.
We are.
Okay. Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Todd was warming up. He didn't even know his name was Todd until just now. So, do you want a new question? In fact, let's talk about MVPs.
MVPs,
of this entire
okay.
tournament.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Already?
Already. We're gonna go that far. I mean, why ask about
That's a big prediction. That's
tomorrow when we can just find out everything?
All right.
Okay. Well, I've been really enjoying some Sentinel players, and I think obviously all the greatest players come from EMEA. So
take a hit of that.
I know. Take another breath.
Take a hit. It's a big
That's
tank.
good stuff. Will Amy be the MVP? There you go.
All right.
Simple question. The answer is obviously yes. Please. I've suffered enough.
Going for the Amy MVP. Oh, so close.
Again?
So
Is this is it Ask in German or is it the clown?
It is the Mimi clown.
it's the Mimi clown.
Well, only Mimi knows what that means.
Mimi clown.
That is tough.
Oh wait, actually,
It's on. It's all about angles with
it
this
is
one.
the angle. It's kind of.
We'll never know. That's such
We'll
a shame.
go with the Mimi clown, I think. I
I,
mean, like, yeah,
Oh, well, why'd you
just
say
for the
that?
sake-
What is this? What is this camera angle? I feel like I'm being trolled.
For the sake of the EU Cope bit, we will go with Mimi the clown.
oh.
Do you want me to give you my MVP?
I do.
Yes, please.
Now, I was going to go with a bold pick from Shopify that wasn't Floor,
Oh,
but
not Floor.
it's all out the window. My mind has changed. I've been swayed. Already, I was on the Dodds hype train, but after that split game, I'm all the way on board. Dodds is going to be the MVP. KRU, they're going on a run.
You're meant to
Lower
ask a
bracket,
question.
they're going on a run. Will Dodds be the MVP?
You've
think
already
so.
answered.
I think so. No, it's about what
Interesting
Todd
take.
thinks.
Fascinating take. I'm very
Todd
curious.
hates me, so
Let's
okay.
go.
I'm going for Dodds.
Todd,
I hope Todd's.
Todd the Wheel will be Dodds. Hey, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Why not Latam win the tournament and Dodds
Yeah,
the
why not?
MVP? Why not?
Why not?
Or be so good and lose and still get MVP.
Yeah, that is possible. It's
a much
possible.
sadder option,
Yeah,
but-
it's quite sad when if they have to trot out the losing MVP at the end. You would hate to see that. So I hope they also win.
Okay. I like that. Latam, I mean, representation here, and they did great today. I'm going to have to go with Zipto's Alexi.
Okay.
She is
Okay.
so well-rounded.
Right.
She's so good.
Okay.
I feel like she's just got the MVP. It's just, it's there. It's sitting in her. So
Right.
this is
But none of that matters unless Todd agrees.
Todd. Just come on. Just give it to me. I feel like I'm in.
No
Oh,
cap.
oh.
It's a yes. That worked out well earlier.
Yeah, that's what I got earlier, and I asked about the APAC team win. So,
I
yeah.
like how there was a need for more than one no cap.
Oh, are there?
There's a no cap.
There are multiple.
And a no
and
cap.
no
in
cap
And
is
here.
yet-
a yes.
And yet, you got Mimi the clown.
I'm excited for this Zipto versus a KRU grand final that Todd's now
It's
predicting.
going to be so much fun.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are
guys.
some bangers. There was
Yeah.
some exciting gameplay today.
If I've cursed you, Amy, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It landed on the clown, though, so Todd disagrees, so if anything, I think we're
That's for the
safe.
best.
Yeah.
That's for the
Things
best.
could reset 2 days from now because tomorrow we are going to be taking the day off. But we'll be back on Wednesday with 2 absolute bangers. We're going to be heading into the upper bracket. We're going to see MIBR, the Brazilian team, face off G2 goes in. And after that, I can't believe this is all in one day. After that, we're going to have Zipto facing off Shopify Rebellion. So today was like pretty intense, really satisfying to watch, especially Zeta Division. I think 2 days from now, you guys are absolutely going to tune in.
And
for this.
G2 are going to win.
Surely the last EMEA team won't go to the lower bracket.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Todd, no.
What happened?
Todd did say no. Todd did say no. But you know what? G2 goes in. I do believe in you. But we will have to talk about that on Wednesday. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope you had fun with us. I'm Victoria. We got Wyatt. We got Tom with the Copian
Just about.
tank. Thanks for watching. See you on Wednesday from here in Berlin. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Japan's representative is here to have fun as Zeta Division won their first match yesterday in a fashion that shut down any doubt as to why this squad is here, with some of the best tactical understanding we've seen so far. But in the blue corner, Falcons Vega were sent to the lower bracket and look incredibly determined to stay in the game.
Gonna be able to almost get the pick. That's a lot of pressure in the spike time. It's going back towards A.
Spikes down. Now they're running low on time. 8 seconds now, and I think the Falcons have realized what's been going on, and they've handled it to perfection. I liked what Zeta tried. They're very creative, but that is just simply not enough.
good 5v, but we are insane, bro.
Falcons keeping that composure locked in. That first half could have been pretty rough to recover from. Otherwise, Suzu already fighting Mad B. Hold on. Oh my God, Serena! Absolutely backhands them out of the park. What the hell was that? So who's hearing everything? Zeta trying to make some impact happen on this bonus, but they turn around and Moko up with 4 quick kills. Zeta have no right to win that bonus. 13 for Zeta, flawless on this side. That is a deadly team. Sending them scattering. This is outrageous. Zeta, you're in their spawns. Get out of here. Falcons fighting back. The disrespect. And oh my God, Suzu. Light That is unbelievable. Looks for a player and finds one. Zeta on the fight back, but it's still the 2v1. Moko tucked in the corner by Quad. Finds a fight on CT in the spacing. And that's a punish you won't forget. And Serena now makes her hand known. The timing is outrageous again. Another attempt at another ult. They've at least got it towards half. UR gets 2. The dream run continues in the lower bracket, and you love to see a dominant finish.
Visa Crew Blaze, yes, they're in the lower bracket, but they did push D2 goes in like no other. And Giant X on the other side are here to defend their turf in the home of EMEA.
And yet, it's still KRU with the advantage here. Just one player left remaining, Miori. Had a couple of really nice pieces.
Hold on a second. It's a 1v2.
They still think she's
Miori,
long.
no one's watching. 1v1. And a spin out. Miori's done it. An incredible clutch for Giant X. They've tied this game again.
This round is all on Miori right now. She's activating quickly, but they're ready for it. Romy waiting and watching, and Kinnear shuts her down. The TPs came in, and they came in too early. This site is not free.
20 seconds left. They have no choice but to charge head on through the molly, and that is a mistake.
Oh,
no options, and Kinnear burns them to the ground. 14-12. KRU take bind in overtime.
Coming down, you can overwhelm the site so quickly. Look at Kinnear taking a chance through the smoke. Absolute perfection.
Could become a problem again. They're walking straight past her. Kinnear has one. Jolena spotted as well. Kinnear is on for the ace, and she's done it. An incredible ace. Visa Crew Blaze are heading straight back to B. Seekers, a judge, diving in. Dodds, has a victim inside the smoke. And flicks up to get the kill.
She wants more.
A nade on Jolena. Another headshot on the judge. Operator connects, but not another. Dodds keeps it going. She's gotten 3. That's a 4th. Dodds on for the ace. The final victim around the corner. Dodds has the damage. And Dodds has the ace.
Visa Crew Blaze, advance and eliminate Giants.
What a start for Visa Crew Blaze in this lower bracket. It was heartbreak against EMEA just the other day. But today, they're the second team to send that region packing.